Live here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series on the Oval. I'm excited for this one. Been a long time since we've seen some Oval Indy action, but here we are. We have it with Cup Car. I'm Josh Coppernoll. I'm joined in the booth by Brett Bennett. Brett, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm actually here on the Oval here at Indianapolis. Track I've been to a few times, and it's been awesome track to run at and to watch races at. But definitely a different kind of challenge we'll see tonight with the super long front and back stretch and the short chutes, and then tight flat 90 corners. So it's gonna be a challenge tonight for these drivers as they all go at it as we'll see the round of 8 in the mid-season madness tournament. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, that tournament continues on. I'm looking forward to that, how it will continue to play out. You'll have to continue to give us updates as that happens throughout the race. I do want to mention a couple of things. Real quick, not kind of related to what we're seeing tonight, but first and foremost, if you are viewers of JCTV and other series, there's been some quality issues. I don't know what's been going on. It happens sometimes and it doesn't happen at other times. I went through, I made some changes, so viewers, if you're experiencing buffering or anything, comment, let me know. It's something that I'm trying to figure out. I don't understand. You know, I really don't understand. I'll make no changes and it will work one day and then the next. I don't know.
There was an iRacing update last week, and I know a lot of people outside of us has had issues like running official races, seeing people on the voice chat.
This has been going on for weeks now, more than just recent.
Who knows? Everything updates.
I'm looking at the stream right now. It looks good, but I mean, if anything, just let me know. We'll see. Hopefully, this is a sign we're all good, and I don't have to worry about it. The other thing I wanted to mention, one of our own, JCTV's own, Smith, just wanted to say happy birthday. You're older, but he's celebrating a birthday today, so happy birthday to him.
Yeah, happy birthday to Ben.
So other than that, go ahead, Brett.
So an interesting note right now, we have the round of 8 tonight in the mid-season madness tournament. Currently, of those 8 drivers, at least 3 of them have not appeared in the session yet, with only 5 minutes remaining here in practice. So might have a couple last-minute replacements for those 3. My understanding is the way it will work. I was not clear on that last week, but after further clarification, talking to series admin, the way it will work is basically those 3 drivers, if both drivers in a matchup don't show up, which at least one person from every matchup has arrived, but if those drivers don't show up, they will be replaced from the highest seed to the lowest seed by the first drivers out, is my understanding, unless they're doing it differently this week than they did last week. Which our scheduled matchups tonight are Zachary Thornton versus Malachi Drake, Luke Peters versus Brian Lorenzo, Wyatt Roberts versus Andretti Robinson, and Cody Rivera versus Michael Walls.
See Will Cloud there. Getting miles in as well.
Yeah, a different number this week on for Will Cloud. He's been in, I believe, the 06 so far this year, or 05. He tonight now on the number 48. Still same Microsoft Paint scheme, but changed the number there on that machine.
Currently, Aaron Brown fastest in practice. Eric Keeter, 100th off of him. Webster in third. Field. Fiedler in fourth. Robertson, yeah. These drivers last week had road course, the street course actually. But,
I'm glad to not be on the scissors lift this week. That was a lot of fun though at the Chicago Street Circuit. It was a really entertaining race, despite Luke Peters eventually pulling away to win by almost a minute and lapping almost the entire field. So we had constant action throughout that race. And hopefully we're going to see some more of the same tonight. Hopefully, obviously we'll a lot more likely to have cautions here tonight, but I'm hoping with this being a lot wider track, we'll have a good clean race. This league's usually been really good about having good races on ovals, which is longer than a mile.
So, I don't know, Brett, if you saw the message, but I did. And we got Trevor Burns right now. So, Trevor, are you going to make it in time?
I will be starting from the pits. I might miss the start, but I will be making it. I got someone to register for me, so at least I got that going.
All right. Well, what are you looking for tonight here at Indianapolis?
Looking for a clean run. Looking to carry the momentum from Chicago. It's a flat track. I'm more of a road course specialist, so I'm hoping that that'll suit me a little better. And yeah, going to be tough starting from the pits because it's kind of hard to pass. But we'll roll with the punches.
Track's not one that really has been around much lately with the NASCAR World visiting the road course. How much time have you had preparing for this one?
Not much. Did about maybe 5 laps last night. I had another league that went there, but it was a complete crash fest that I didn't really get much experience out of it. Plus, they used a different setup than the one we're using tonight. So, yeah, I don't got much going for me other than a few laps the previous night.
All right. Well, we wish you luck. Maybe we'll talk to you a bit later.
Maybe, yeah.
All right. Well, you drive safe in the next few minutes getting home.
Yep, will do. Will do.
That was Trevor Burns, driver of the 02. Currently beating traffic to get his way to being stuck in traffic in the virtual Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, the traffic here going to be going a lot faster than the traffic, I'm sure, on the road wherever he's at. But
let me tell you a little story about how dedicated I am to sim racing. Very quickly, that I can do before practice gets over. I worked at a grocery store, which I'm not going to shout out, but it starts with K. And
shout out sponsor of the best driver, Ricky Stenhouse
yeah,
Jr.
It starts with K, ends in Roger, and possibly sponsors Ricky Stenhouse. They have a thing where you can clock in and out with a 7-minute buffer. At least they did when I worked there. It's been almost 5 years since I worked there. But so there was one weekend I was not going to be able to race in a race that I wanted to race in, and I made sure that I clocked out my 7-minute buffer, so 7 minutes early. I was riding a bicycle, which I did not live far at all. Got on my bicycle. I mean, just was pedaling as fast as I could. Got home, turned my PC on, got set, registered with 1 minute remaining, loaded into the session, and crashed out at halfway. But I made it, and that's how dedicated I was to the sim, to that series, trying to get it in there. So, Trevor Burns, hopefully make it in time. I think he will, but practice is coming to an end. I told you I'd get finished before then. Normally my stories are a little longer. for
Yeah,
ending practice, heading into qualifying.
they're shorter than my stories. Let's be honest here.
We know that one, Brett.
Yeah, it's something interesting to note tonight. We've only had 3 different winners this year, but Luke Peters, who's won, I believe, 4 races this season, is not here tonight. Zachary Thornton, and neither is Jason Radchcock, as some of y'all know. He got married, and is after won his last race here at Atlanta. So, really a chance that we're going to see a new winner here tonight, and a lot of guys fast in practice who we have not seen a huge amount of it towards the front this season. So, it'll be interesting to see as qualifying gets underway here.
First one out is driver the number 42 Quaker Steak and Lube Chevy, and he is warming up the tires.
Yeah, and I would like to say I would know how to qualify fast here, but this is not a track I've really raced at ever in the Cup car. Just the official series don't go here.
I'm so excited to see this track back on the oval. I mean, I like road courses, so I've enjoyed the Indy road course personally. I know that may not be a popular take, but I am excited to see him go back to the oval next year.
The Indy road course, I'm happy to see my oval. The Indy road course, NASCAR went 2 oval road course heavy, but also the Indy road course really has not produced good racing in any of its years. The first year had the curb explode. I immensely enjoyed the curb exploding because it was funny, but it was not good racing before that or after that.
AJ
then the next year,
Allmendinger won that race. It was awesome.
Oh no, I love it. AJ Allmendinger's my second favorite driver behind Stenhouse. So like, don't get me wrong, I love that he won that race, but that was not a good race. And then the year after that was also not a good race. It just involved everybody killing each other in the turn 1 repeatedly.
Ross Chastain
and then
fighting away.
That shouldn't have been a penalty. They didn't say it in the rule. They never specified that in the rules that was against the rules. What he did. It was a smart racing decision. But then and then last year I love McDowell, but that race it seemed exciting to me. But I listened to it on the radio the entire way, and any race on radio sounds exciting. So what I've heard, it was not the most enjoyable.
I'm telling you, I love MRN, PRN, their calls of races. They can make the simplest things sound beautiful. As Wyatt Roberts coming off turn 4 for his second lap, currently a 53.527 lap 1, currently P7 across the line, and we'll see if he improves his time. It's Eric Heater that has the top spot for the moment. Wyatt Roberts, P2, 52.947.
Yeah, Eric Heater really had not seen a lot of him towards the very front this season, but last week at Chicago Street Circuit, qualified third, was one of the fastest guys in practice, and then really had a strong performance. Led a lot of the race early, made 1 or 2 small mistakes, and then just did not have the pace to keep with Luke Peters, but had a strong a season best second place finish last week, hoping to continue to build on that, and a really strong qualifying. He goes even faster on a second lap, a 52.554.
Luke Mahone hitting the wall hard off 4. Luke Mahone, P10, and that was the second lap. It's going to be invalidated. Wow.
And an update, Brad Suwinski and Luke Mahone will be in midseason madness as Luke Peters, unless Luke Peters or Malachi Drake are able to join the session before we go green here tonight, but neither of them has joined yet. And if that's the case, our matchups will end up being, instead of Luke Peters, it will be Brad Suwinski versus Brian Lorenzo, and instead of instead of Zachary Thornton versus Malachi Drake, it'll be Zachary Thornton taking on Luke Mahone.
Coming to return 3 is Andretti Robinson, currently sitting 13th after a 53.137. Andretti Robinson seeing if he can improve the time.
And it seems like a lot of drivers have been picking up on that second lap.
across the line of bricks.
And that's going to be second fastest.
Yeah, 52.737.
Still really impressive lap from Eric Heater. He's almost 2/10 up on Andretti Robinson in second right now.
And that does it. Eric Heater is your pole winner. So let's go ahead and take a look at the starting grid. And starting on the pole, as mentioned, Eric Heater, Andretti Robinson to his outside in second. Shockey Tarpley will start third. Cody Webster in fourth. And Wyatt Roberts to start fifth.
Starting sixth is Aaron Brown in the number 7 Opti Chevrolet. Seventh, Ollie Reeves in the 31 Chevrolet. Eighth will be Brandon Fiedler. Ninth, Brad Sawinski. And rounding out your top 10 here today, Cody Riveras.
Starting in 11th is going to be Jackson Glenn Austin. Will Cloud will start 12th. Wick Mahone, 13th. Nicholas Borowski in 14th. And Devin Frank in 15th.
And then rounding out your top 20, Matthew Miles will start 16th in the number 30 Toyota. Jacob Weiss makes his series debut in the number 19 Ford, although you will see he has the number 6 on that car. He's got a Brad Keselowski scheme. Ethan Eckert starts 18th in the 12. Zachary Thornton, our points leader, starts 19th. And then Brian Lorenzo will start 20th.
I have Malachi Drake as 20th. Brian Lorenzo 21st. Michael Walls 22nd. 23rd, Wes Gello. Trevor Burns 24th. And Brady Floyd 25th.
Yeah, I think Malachi Drake might be showing up weird because he registered last second. He's showing as as grid spot 25 on my end, but it might have been weird. It's listing him ahead of the other people who didn't qualify. He got in at the last second, so that means Luke Mahone will not be competing. Instead, it will be Malachi Drake versus Zachary Thornton. Brad Sawinski has replaced Luke Peters, though, and will be taking on Brian Lorenzo. Wyatt Roberts versus Andretti Robinson, and Cody Riveras versus Michael Walls.
So, Brett, who is your pick to win tonight?
I'm going to go with our pole sitter, Eric Heater. He really had a strong run last week at Chicago Street Circuit, and I think he's able to build on that and put that number 99 Red Bull Toyota into victory lane here tonight.
I'm going to go with Wyatt Roberts. He's really been impressive. He's running up front, just not getting the job done at the end, but I think it's about time. You know, I think that 42 will be in victory lane.
Yeah, and other news, still no Traver Burns. They have extended the caution by 1 lap. That might be to give Traver a little bit of extra time to make sure he's able to get here. But we will have a stage in this race. That stage caution will come on lap 25. But one thing to look for in this race, we got a couple really fast cars starting at the back, or drivers who are typically fast. Zachary Thornton was really fast in practice and is our points leader in today's race. Brian Lorenzo, Malachi Drake, and Michael Walls all did not set qualifying times. So all drivers who I think we're going to have to really keep an eye on as they come up through the field.
It'll be interesting to see if they are able to. So you heard who Brett and I are taking for our picks to win. Who's your guys' pick to win in the chat? Comment who it is. I do see Trevor Burns is here and sitting on pit road. So Burns and Jacob Weist. They both are going to be starting from pit road. So once...
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Apparently, Jacob Wiest had his sim crash when he hit the grid button. So by the time he got back in, they had started rolling. So that's why he is having to start at the rear here today. Or start from pit lane. Those two drivers are probably going to be hoping for an early caution. But with the stage in this race, it's not the end of the world here to be starting on pit road, especially a track this long. You're not really in any danger of losing.
I would say that. So basically, once the green flag hits, it's like very. With this track being so big, I don't think either one of those drivers have anything to worry about. Knowing that there is a caution in 25 laps, guaranteed, you may see one beforehand, may not, but I think they should be all right. And with that being said, the field is working its way through turn 4. And we're going to get the green. 80 laps. 100. I'm about to tell you wrong information because I don't know how to math. Green flag is in the air, though. We are underway.
And a good launch from Eric Keeter. He's going to get clear out in front. Shaki Tarpley and Dirty Robinson going to be side by side for second as they enter turn 1.
Let's make that 200 miles. Makes up today's race, not 160. But we already have a caution, and it's going to be Devin Frank.
We were suggesting it last week that maybe he changed sponsors from Crunch, but once again, the Crunch car gets crunched on lap 1. And he was stuck 3 wide in the middle.
Oh yeah.
And actually, they were 4 wide at one point in the short shoot, and eventually just ran out of real estate and a little bit of contact there. Puts the Crunch car, the Crunch 56, crunching into the wall. Seems like he probably doesn't have that severe of damage. Matthew Miles was also involved there.
So I want to take a look at something here. See this? Luke Mahone jumped out of line right as soon as the green flag dropped. They were 3 wide up here. There's the 4 wide Brett was talking about. 3 wide, and then just no room. And that sends Frank to the outside wall.
Yeah, honestly, that looked like the 54 of Jackson Glenn Austin, that Monster Energy scheme in front of the 5 of Kyle Larson scheme for Luke Mahone. It looks like Jackson Glenn Austin didn't get a good start, and that just kind of stacked everything up behind him. They were 3 wide. Then Michael Walls, he's not going to lift out. He takes it 4 wide, and then just Devin Frank is the one who ends up being on the losing end of that.
Drivers coming down pit road. Malachi Drake. Devin Frank.
I'm guessing a lot of these guys probably just checking to see if they got any damage in that.
Wes Gallo. And Jacob Wiest.
Yeah, Devin Frank going to sit on pit road here for a little bit, taking repairs. Reminder, we do have the choose cone in this league, so that's something to look for here. Yeah, it appeared Jacob Wiest and Malachi Drake at least both just came down pit road to possibly top off on fuel. Not sure what our fuel numbers are looking like here tonight, but might be a strategy call where if it's tight to the stage.
I'm not really sure either. The one thing that I have noticed in the Slide Job Racing League that we broadcast on Tuesdays is if we get a very early caution.
Pace laps is compared to 1, so you do burn a little more fuel there. But like in Slide Job, I get it, because Slide Job, if you get an early caution, a lot of times those races you're really tight. You have to run a smaller fuel cell in Slide Job. You think it's 70%. Plus, you don't have any guaranteed cautions. So you do occasionally get races that are going to run green from those points. So a lot of times that pit stop early puts you much more comfortably in the window. 2 stops instead of 3 or 3 stops instead of 4. So that's why you see that there. Here with the stage caution, I am not as sure on why you'd come down and top off unless you're maybe not good to the stage. Then again, if for somebody like Malachi Drake or Jacob Weiss, they were both at the very back of the field. They really didn't lose anything by coming down pit road. They have, by the way, chosen now Eric Eater and Brady Robinson to be the front row here. We get close to getting back in.
Yeah, they are. Apparently I wasn't live, which my telemetry was saying I was, but base car is in, and Eric Eater gets the gas back green.
Another really good launch there for that 99. Brady Robinson going to get challenged by Shockey Tarpley for the 2nd position. They're going to try to get single file. This is a track where you really want to be single file. It really hurts your speed being side by side. Plus, it's just, and once again, we're under caution.
That's not who it is. It is. Oh, there. Oh.
Devin Frank got some late content in that. It started with Jackson Glenn Austin. It looks like Nicholas Borowski may be involved as well. Matthew Miles, Wes Gallo, and Nowhere to Go. They get involved. And then late, Devin Frank, to be fair to him, cars did not really hold the brakes as he was approaching. He came in a little hot too.
Borowski went all the way down the track.
Yeah, Jackson Glenn Austin definitely sent it in hard into that corner. Once again, not a great launch from Jackson Glenn Austin on that start. Really got a poor launch. Kind of stacked things up behind him once again. But he then sent it really hard in the corner, and just Borowski, I don't think, thought he was going to be there when he turned in. And they were kind of side by side. And then once again, it was 4 wide off of turn 1, and it doesn't work. Once again, Michael Walls, one of those cars 4 wide.
Gonna step aside. We'll be back for the restart.
Here at JCTV, we currently broadcast 3 series. On Tuesdays, you'll catch the Slide Job Racing League featuring drivers such as Dalton Kilroe, Dane Cruz, and Jonathan Parker.
And real quick, we are 3 wide for the race lead. Hawkins, Wygant, Hapiak, they went 4 wide for a moment with a lap car.
On Fridays, you'll see the NAOR series featuring Nick Hapiak, Chris Wright, and Josh Arnold. As that happens, here comes the 5 through the middle right now. He's going to force the issue and take it
4
3
wide! 4 wide!
God.
What a move by Justin Durand to go to the race lead!
On Saturdays, you can find the In the Pit News Truck Series featuring Justin Durand, Zach Probst, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno. To book JCTV for your own league, please visit us at jctvracing.com and contact us for your booking. Remember, race fans, you can always watch racing live or anytime over at JCTV's YouTube channel.
What did they do all that?
sip gets you closer. It's Justin Timberlake MP3s.
Hey.
Hey to you. A chance to meet Jeff Gordon.
You okay, Justin?
Millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Well, he didn't beat the pace
Back
car off the
here
road.
from Indianapolis, field 2x2. And back green. See if we can get it going this time.
Yeah, one of the things that's really true to both directions. Jackson both times not having a launch. Had a lengthy pit stop there. Still listing on the lead lap, although I did not think he beat the pace car off of pit road. I thought he should have been a lap down. But it appeared to score him still on the lead lap, so.
Field is coming through turn 4. Pace car is going to dive in. And Eric Eater once again will lead us to green. Green flag is waving. We're back underway here at Indianapolis. Great restart by Heater once again.
And Tarpley going to look to. He's going to look to the inside there of Andretti Robinson. And you can see that outside lane, you just cannot. It's hard to hold that momentum out there on that corner exit. Cody Webster able to get by for third. Now Aaron Brown going to look side by side for fourth as they head down the long back stretch.
Harris looks out of line. He's trying to get a couple passes. He's going to look to the inside of Wyatt Roberts there. 3 wide behind, I believe. One of them being the 12 with Ethan Ecker. It is. And they're almost 4 wide.
So far this race, 4 wide has not worked out. Michael Walls being aggressive through the middle here. It's 3 wide with Borowski and Lorenzo further back in the pack. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, Eric Heater already out to a full second lead. Cody Webster, though, going to get by Shockey Tarpley for that second position in turn 1.
Just had a car in the wall. I believe that was Brady Boyd. We're 3 wide. Boyd went all the way up there, got into the wall, lost position.
You got to be careful not to overdrive the entry, especially in the turns 1 and turns 3 at the end of these long straightaways. It's really easy just to miss your cornering point and end up in the fence.
Brian Lorenzo trying to make a pass on Malachi Drake. 17th position.
Meanwhile, Aaron Brown was able to get by Shockey Tarpley there in turn 4, and Andretti Robinson's got a run on him. He's actually not gonna. He's gonna think better of it and stay behind him. Meanwhile, a little bit of ball there for Ollie Reeves is Wyatt Roberts able to get by Brandon Fielder for the 7th position.
Oh, Cody Harris technical.
Yeah, it looked like just maybe a little bit of minor contact, but that's going to check him up down this long straightaway. And that's one of the most important parts of the lap here is getting a good exit out of turns 2 and turns 4. Those long straightaways, if you get a bad exit, you're just going to get past. You need to be maintaining that speed as you get that launch onto the, I believe they're 3/4 mile straightaways.
I've always heard them refer to this place where you want to set up your passes going into 3. Because if you try to pass into 4 and screw up, you take so much momentum because of how long the straightaways are. The short shoots in between corners, very short. And momentum there, it's not going to hurt you as bad as it would down those very long straightaways.
Well, we got Ollie Reeves and Zachary Thornton battling hard for the 9th position. Our points leader, Zachary Thornton, he's going to be able to get by the 31 of Ollie Reeves. Right now, Zachary Thornton, he's the 1 seed in midseason madness, but our 8 seed Cody Webster is up in the 2nd position, looking to pull the upset here. So let's bring Zachary Thornton and keep an eye on
Speaking of Webster, he has some pressure from Aaron Brown. There. Trying to make something happen. And behind, it's Robinson and Tarpley going at it for the 4th position.
Yeah, and last time by, Aaron Brown went our fastest lap of the race, a 52.491, as Nemo and Brady Robinson able to get by Shockey Tarpley for that 4th position. They're kind of starting to stack up behind Shockey Tarpley there in 4th. Cody Rivera, Wyatt Roberts, Brandon Fiedler, and Zachary Thornton all right there.
High.
Cody Rivera is going to make a late dive into turns 3 and 4, in the turn 2.
Caution is out on the track. It is Malachi Drake, Ethan Eckert.
Ethan Eckert dropped all the way back to the 17th position. It looks like he may have had a little bit of a bobble in the turn. Actually, they kind of were dooring down the straightaway. That might have been a little bit of some frustration on the part of Malachi Drake. Actually, that was battle for the 18th position. Eckert kind of doored him on the straightaway, and then Drake kind of just ran into the back of him on the exit of turn 1, spun Eckert around, but then Eckert gets back into Drake and sends Drake around. Wes Gallo and Devin Frank both barely made it through that. And that caution, I believe, will give the free pass to the 54 of Jackson Glenn Austin. That'll put him back on the lead lap. Matthew Miles, after damage in that previous incident, has been on pit road for a while and is now 8 laps down. It's going to be interesting to see if people come down pit road here. We've seen this next-gen car, though, tires tend to not wear a huge amount, especially at a kind of flatter tracks like we see on the road courses.
Back to lifetime. This is currently now, and Eckert and Drake side by side while they were catching the field.
Yeah, multiple guys there fake to come down pit road, but doesn't look like anybody actually is going to come onto pit road there.
Towards the back they are, starting with the 0-2, I believe, of Traver Burns.
Yeah, we got Traver Burns, Brady Floyd, Jacob Weiss, Wes Gallo, Ethan Eckert, and Malachi Drake on pit road. Drake, I'm assuming, probably just for damage repair, but 34 Jackson and Austin coming around now to get back on the lead lap. And at least for Jacob Weiss, it appeared to once again be fuel only. Same with Wes Gallo. Meanwhile, the 12 of Ethan Eckert appears to have called it a night, so he will be our first DNF of the race. Matthew Miles has got him back out on track, so it appears Ethan Eckert will probably be our 25th place finisher here tonight.
So 10 laps remaining in the stage. I believe they're going to take 1 to green here, so it'll be 8 laps remaining in the stage when we go back green. This Saturday night, the Blazers Sim Racing Infinite News Shark Series has their season finale for Season 4. A champion will be crowned. A series I've been running full-time in the last couple of seasons. But trading my steering wheel for a microphone. Saturday night, I'll be up in the booth on the action. Dawson Allen is not available, so
Typical Dawson.
sad I won't be able to race that one. It's Auto Club, great track, and
Yeah, we're gonna try to end the string of second place finishes.
had a pretty good run at Michigan until you didn't. Auto Club sister track to Michigan. Should be fun.
Michigan, if I didn't, I probably could have won if I didn't screw up the pit strategy.
So,
Which the best part is, everybody has now decided that I am bad at pit strategy because of that one race. When I've had many more races where the pit strategy has played out in my favor. It was like the one time I screwed it up.
So, looking forward to that race. And,
Meanwhile, the pace car pulling in.
the pace car is in. And inside the restart zone, green flag is back in the air.
And I don't know what the rule is in this league and whether they enforce changing lanes before start finish, but if they do, the 08 of Cody Webster appeared to change into the bottom lane before start finish line there, starting on the outside. And just a correction to earlier, I had said Cody Webster was taking on Zachary Thornton. It was Zachary Thornton versus Malachi Drake. I got his teammates, Webster and Drake, mixed up. Webster has been eliminated from Midseason Madnesses. He is still in second. Aaron Brown challenged him though. A little further back, Andretti Robinson entered really hard on the back bumper of Cody Riveras in fifth, but appeared to enter the corner too hot and just missed the corner. Got passed by Zachary Thornton, and now Brandon Fiedler looking to get by him for seventh.
Wyatt Roberts right there as well, waiting to pounce.
Yeah, I think actually Brandon Fiedler got a poor exit there off the corner. Wyatt Roberts going to now be side by side with him for the 8th position. Brad Sulinski also right there. They're going to still be side by side as they exit turn 2. And ooh, Sawinski got in the wall. But
Hard contact. Shuffling from these drivers. Home.
and once again, Andretti Robinson has missed turn 3 a couple times now. That's going to let Fiedler get by him for 7th, and Wyatt Roberts now going to be side by side with him for 8th. Roberts, though, not quite able to clear him off of turn 4. They're still be side by side as they go down the front stretch.
And Wyatt Roberts stuck on the bottom.
Sawinski seems in a little deep. Luke Mahone was pressuring him hard. They're going to be side by side for the 10th position as they exit turn 1.
Mahone struggling to complete the pass.
Meanwhile, Aaron Brown's got a big run on Cody Webster for 2nd down the back, but he's going to back off here in the turn 3, try to follow him.
Aaron Brown staying right there behind Webster. These guys keeping him much closer to Heater this time around the opening sequence. See Heater, what he's doing there is trying to break the draft. Going low, going high, doing his best to break the draft. Something you see a lot of times at these big tracks. Indianapolis, Pocono. See it a lot in IndyCar as well. These drivers do their best to.
Yeah, and there we saw Aaron Brown was right on Cody Webster, but he appeared to miss turn 1 a little bit. It's what I was saying earlier, it's pretty heavy braking into turns 1 and turn 3, and it's really easy to go a little too deep and just be up the track. And you really want to have your tires right on that curb below that white line, or else you're going to be losing speed in these corners.
Wyatt Roberts going to take 8th place away from Andretti Robinson.
We just had a big moment for Luke Mahone, by the way, off of turn 3. He actually got together with Brian Lorenzo. It looks like Ollie Reeves was a little slow in front of him, and he tried to turn down the track right into Brian Lorenzo. He actually went around, and I think he barely caught the inside wall, but was able to keep it mostly off of it, although I'm looking back down to see if he got any damage out of that. Yeah, I think he was fine. He just barely brushed that inside wall, but had to go on the access road to get back going and lost 4 or 5 seconds to the rest of the field.
See it on the JCTV replay what happened. Thornton is right there on Cody Rivera's bumper, and Thornton's going to take a peek to the inside, entering 1.
Yeah, Zachary Thornton didn't qualify here. He's our points that are going in, already won 2 races on the season. He's already worked his way up from the 19th position, now looking to move into the top 5 as he's to the inside of Cody Rivera's. And it appears he's going to clear him. Maybe not. Cody Rivera's still able to stay side by side as they exit turn 2. But actually, Thornton now going to be able to pull up in front of Cody Rivera's as they head down the back.
And Fiedler right there as well behind Rivera's.
And Fiedler maybe going to look to try to make a move here down the front stretch. He got a good run off of turn 4 there. Meanwhile, multiple cars diving to pit road with 2 to go in the stage. Cody Webster and Aaron Brown both dove to pit road. They're going to try to pull the strategy here, pitting before the stage caution to take the lead when we have the caution for the stage. Honestly, that's a move I would have done if I'm going for a win. And the reason you see drivers doing that is the lap times here are so long, you can pit and take 4 tires in fuel and not lose a lap.
Yeah.
So by pitting...
This is actually smart out of these two, as they are going to be exiting pit road now. All they have to do is not speed. They're at the line, and leader just exiting 4.
Yeah, I think that was a really good decision there by Aaron Brown and Cody Webster. They're going to easily stay on the lead lap, and they're going to cycle to lead when we get this stage caution. And probably a move because Eric Heater has been pretty clearly the fastest car here today, as he is way out in front as he's coming to the end of the stage. Meanwhile, battle for second is on. Zachary Thornton maybe going to look to try to get the Shockey Tarpley before the end of this lap.
Roberts looking underneath Fiedler.
We'll see. Will Zachary Thornton try to make a move here in turn 3? And it doesn't appear he will. He's just going to follow. He's actually going to enter high here in turn 4. And he's going to pull it off there on the high side. He's going to get by him. And Cody Rivera's now going to try to capitalize on them being side by side. And Cody Rivera gets by Tarpley to steal 3rd in the stage. Caution flag now out for the end of the stage. Stage 1 results. Stage winner Eric Heater. Zachary Thornton, our points leader, takes home 2nd. Cody Rivera's 3rd. Shockey Tarpley 4th. Brandon Fiedler 5th. Wyatt Roberts 6th. Andretti Robinson 7th. Ollie Reeves 8th. Will Cloud 9th. And then Jacob Wiest rounds out our top 10 in Stage 1.
So the field is going to be catching the pace car.
And I've got to think we're going to see everybody in the field come down pit road except that 08 and 7.
I have to say you're right.
Yeah, it really depends what you're going for. I've had races where I would have liked to pull that strategy. Like if, for example, in the Pits News Truck Series at Talladega this season, the Dega Double, if I wasn't points racing, I would have been doing that in both stages at Talladega. But since I needed points, I had to stay out and try to get stage points in both races. But yeah, that's kind of a road course strategy that you see people pull, which by pitting early, you can, if you catch a caution, you don't have to pit and you can cycle to the lead. You see that play out at road courses most likely, but you've also seen it in real life play out at Pocono a lot of times. Because here comes everybody down pit road.
Yeah, it is the entire field. The 09 of Malachi Drake actually staying out.
As did the 02 of Traper Burns, and they both had come down pit road on lap 15 under the previous caution. And I believe they had both taken 4 tires, so some potential strategy for those drivers. Also, something I missed, Michael Walls has been on pit road for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, he
And I'm not sure what happened. He just kind of pulled into the pits as they were coming to go green on that last restart. And actually came to a stop and towed to his pit stall. Interesting. Not sure, maybe he was having computer issues or something going on.
hopefully everything's all right.
But with Michael Walls likely being out of the race, that means Cody Riveras will advance to the semifinals of the Midseason Madness.
One to green.
So real
is
quick,
waving. Go ahead, Brett.
So to real quick reset our running order after the pit stops, our top 10, Malachi Drake and Traver Burns 1 and 2 after they both stay out. Cody Webster and Aaron Brown who pitted coming to the fourth stage, 3rd and 4th, and then Eric Heater drops the 5th as drops like the 5th. Shockey Tarpley 6th, Brandon Fiedler 7th, Cody Riveras 8th, Wyatt Roberts 9th, and then a little bit of a slow stop for Zachary Thornton. Not sure what happened to him, but he was the 2nd car onto pit road and the 6th car off of pit road. And actually, I went back and looked. He overshot his box pretty badly there. It's going to be interesting to restart with 2 cars. We have not really seen really much of this race. Malachi Drake and Traver Burns leading the field to the green here.
Webster and Brown, of course, 3rd and 4th. And I'm interested to see how this is going to play out.
And also see how Eric Heater deals with this. He's been our most consistent driver here today, but he's also not been in dirty air at all. He's been out front this entire race.
Space car is going to work its way to the safety of pit road. Malachi Drake going to lead us back to green. Green flag is waving, and we are underway, and already some movement in the back.
Yeah, Traver Burns did not get going, and that checked up Aaron Brown, and Aaron Brown drops all the way back to the 5th position. He's going to get back by short over 5th. Cody Webster looking to the inside of his teammate Malachi Drake for the race lead.
Burns going to go all the way down to the bottom. Underneath. Drake.
Trey Burns got him back going now. That car still looks like it's pretty quick right now on the older tires. Aaron Brown always works his way back up to third. Eric Heater dropped all the way back to sixth. Brandon Fiedler up in the top 5. Also, I'm not sure what happened, but Andretti Robinson, I don't know if he had gotten some damage, but he was on pit road for a while and had actually not cut up to the field before we went back green. He's running back in 22nd, almost half a lap down to the leader. And if there's problems for Andretti Robinson, that will basically put Wyatt Roberts most likely into the next round.
Eric Heater looking underneath Malachi Drake, who might have brushed up against the wall there. Now the field looking low. It's going to be Shaki Tarpley, Cody Rivera's. They're looking underneath Malachi Drake.
Yeah, Drake can fight back, and here comes Zachary Thornton as well, side by side Cody Rivera's. Meanwhile, Eric Heater starting to try to put the pressure on the 39 of Brandon Fiedler.
You mentioned
Meanwhile,
it.
Aaron Brown.
Heater fell back to 6th. He's now 5th. See if Heater can make anything happen, but
Meanwhile, Aaron Brown right on the back bumper of the 0-2 of Traver Burns, looking for that second position. Big bobble off of turn 1 for Traver Burns. Aaron Brown Aaron Brown's gonna get to his inside as they exit turn 3 here. Eric Heater also gonna look under Brandon Fiedler, but does not have the momentum. He's gonna have to tuck back in the line. But Aaron Brown able to get by Traver Burns for second, and here comes Brandon Fiedler looking for third. A little bit of a bump there from Eric Heater to get Fiedler by Traver Burns, but then Heater going to take advantage. He goes 5th to 3rd in one corner.
stuck on the bottom. Shaki Tarpley. He's going to complete the pass outside.
Thornton going to have a run at Traver Burns for that 6th position down the backstretch here. He's going to peek to his inside. Might have peaked just a little bit too soon. Maybe not have momentum here. And Traver Burns is going to kind of stay in front of him as they run through turn 3, but now Zachary Thornton going to peek to his inside into turn 4. And you see there, it's all about timing when you want to pull out a line on these long front and back stretches. If you pull out too early, cars in front of you might still have a draft that car in front, and you're just going to get dropped back. You want to pull out late enough that they can't defend you getting to their bottom, but that they're not faster than you on corner entry. Meanwhile, Will Cloud looking under Malachi Drake for the 9th position. They're going to be able to fight. Here comes Cody Rivera. They're going to be 3 wide down the backstretch. And they're still going to be 3 wide entering turn 3.
This could be sketch. We're going to try it.
Malachi Drake was able to hold the speed. He's going to drop back to the 10th position. Still side by side Will Cloud and Cody Rivera for 8.
Roberts and Sminsky. Outside of Toronto, here it comes. Jake Beast.
Meanwhile, Eric Heater has caught Aaron Brown for the 2nd position. He's going to have a big run to the outside on turn 2. And it looks like he's just going to blow by him here on the backstretch. The 99 of Eric Heater trying to work his way back to the lead. Meanwhile, Zachary Thornton has got him by Shaki Tarpley to move into the top 5. Although Shockey Tarpley's still right on the bumper of Zachary Thornton, trying to possibly get back by him. He's going to try to get a big run off the corner, but that's one spot I've been noticing. Zachary Thornton, while he's been moving through this field, he's not the fastest in turns 1 and 3, but he really gets a strong exit out of turns 2 and 4 to get that launch down these long straightaways.
Devin Frank down pit road. Gonna lose a lap here.
And there was actually a contact between Devin Frank, got up into the wall hard off of turn 3, and then actually came up and hit Matthew Miles. I don't know, he might have already had damage at that point. And in fact, that appeared to break the suspension on that number 56 machine, which is what led him to coming to pit road. He got on the Matthew Miles, who also has come back down pit road. Miles was already 8 laps down. And unfortunately, the crunch car once again getting crunched. Meanwhile, Zachary Thornton has now caught up to Brandon Fiedler for that 4th position. He's got a big run down the front stretch here.
And he's going to take it. He's going to look to the inside. He's side by side. Entering 1.
And Thornton going to clear him. Our points leader has now worked his way all the way up to the 4th position. Meanwhile, we are seeing that strategy that Cody Webster and Aaron Brown pulled, pitting before the stage pull out. Cody Webster now with almost a second and a half lead over Eric Heater. They're running pretty similar lap times. Actually, Cody Webster a 10th faster last lap.
So you got to think that some of these drivers are going to take notice of that.
Yeah, I don't think I think the tire difference, tires do mean something. We've seen Trevor Burns has dropped back to the 7th position, has fallen pretty far off of Shockey Tarpley, and is now coming under pressure from drivers like Cody Riveras, and Malachi Drake's up all the way back to 13th. But for those drivers who pitted right for the stage, they've really held on to their track position pretty well.
Trevor Burns doing a great job. Riding in 7th here.
Yeah, although he is under pressure right now from Cody Riveras. Cody Riveras, good launch at the corner. You know, Will Cloud actually maybe got him loose off the corner. That's going to let Wyatt Roberts get his outside for the 9th position. Cody Riveras being patient, back out there, not trying to make the move into turn 3. Meanwhile, Will Cloud and Wyatt Roberts still side by side for that 9th position.
Right behind Will Cloud, Brian Lorenzo. Looks like Jackson Glenn Austin is going to bring his car down pit road.
And I'm not sure if that's going to be a scheduled stop or not for Jackson Glenn Austin. He was running back in the 18th position, but didn't look that.
On Aaron Brown, look at the inside.
And in fact, that was not a scheduled stop for Jackson Glenn Austin. He has disconnected from the session.
Thornton able to get around Brown. And Brown's going to come down pit road.
And I'm wondering if some drivers are thinking maybe this is a 2-stop race.
Well, this is halfway right here. 40 down, 40 to go. And joining Brown down pit road is going to be Malachi Drake.
Yeah, I'm thinking these drivers are thinking it's a 2-stop race. I don't see why you would have come down pit road here unless that is the case.
Also, Peter is catching Webster.
Yeah, he was almost a 0.5 second faster, and some of that's that once you have that draft of the car in front, you can gain really quick just because you get such a big speed advantage down these long front and back straightaways. Meanwhile, Traver Burns going to dive to pit road off of turn 4. And I got to think.
Burns actually messes up. He slides. Caution's going to come out.
In all honesty, that should not have been a caution. It would have been a caution. It would have been a caution in real life, but on iRacing, that should not be a caution.
So, I agree. But I do believe that the reason it was a caution was because here there's really no apron or out of bounds area, safe area.
Yeah, and technically he was going basically a complete stop on the racing surface, so that's why iRacing threw the caution there. But that actually is really going to play out well for Aaron Brown and Malachi Drake, who had just come down pit road. I'm not sure what the pit window is, and if drivers are trying to make it on one stop, you might see them stay out here and come down as soon as the pit window opens, which, honestly, that's a strategy I really like at a track like this, especially if the tire fall off is not huge, which looking at lap times throughout this race, especially on that last run, we have not seen huge amounts of tire fall off, maybe a half a second at most. So I would maybe consider the strategy being here, if you can make it on one stop, just to pit as soon as you can make it to the end on fuel. We'll have to see. Let's just see if we see people coming down pit road under this caution. And based on the fact that Traver Burns was pitting there, he had gone 27 laps since his last stop. I got to think it's really tight on whether these guys can make it on one stop from the stage.
Looks like majority are in favor.
And it's actually going to be pretty much everybody is going to come down pit road except Brady Floyd. In fact, even just to confirm, 3 drivers stayed out there. The 20 of Brady Floyd, the 7 of Aaron Brown, and the 09 of Malachi Drake. In 16 laps since Brady Floyd last pitted. Aaron Brown and Malachi Drake, we saw on pit road the lap before the caution came out.
Looks like Borowski with a strategy call here, possibly 2 tires.
And I have not seen the wear here, but this is a track. Actually, I just went and looked. He did not. It was not 2 tires. It appeared to be no tires, fuel only for the 23. And obviously, everybody's going to have to make one more stop from here. So I kind of like that call from the 23. Really gained him a lot of track position. And we're going to have to stop one more time. If he starts dropping back, he could just pit early on the next cycle and possibly regain that. So I like that call from Borowski. As it stands right now in the bracket challenge, by the way, Malachi Drake actually currently, I believe, would be very close, if not advancing over Zachary Thornton. But that's what the track should do to the pit strategy there. Brian Lorenzo and Brad Sawinski actually separated by 1 position right now. Lorenzo entered with a very slight buffer, so he's got to beat him by Sawinski's probably got to beat him by like 2 spots, but they're real close together. Wyatt Robertson, Dirty Robinson. Dirty Robinson's been having issues. He had a lot of damage that he's been taking over the last few caution periods. I don't know if he's got all of it, but he's at the back of the field. He's going to have to really work his way up if he wants to challenge Wyatt Roberts to advance. And then with Michael Walls pulling off, Cody Rivera's pretty much guaranteed now a spot in the semifinals. And I think people got to be nervous seeing that 20 of Brady Floyd on a lot older tires and the rest of the field's leading this field back to the green here.
Yeah, I think Aaron Brown probably in the best position for this restart. So he's going to be on the outside, front row.
Yeah, once again, Eric Heater. I think our fastest car did not really pay out well for him.
So pace car going to work its way down pit road and field in the hands of Brady Floyd. Green flag back in the air.
Good launch there for the 20 of Brady Floyd. No, Malachi Drake and Nicholas Borowski going to be side by side for the third position in turn 1. Eric Heater going to look to make it 3 wide for the third position.
He backed out of it.
Probably a good decision. He's been the fastest car here today. I would not want to take any risks with being as fast as he's been here today. Meanwhile, Aaron Brown able to get by.
Spin in the back. That is the 0-8 of Cody Webster. He's going to save it.
Yeah, caution flies. And Cody Webster, one of our fastest cars here today. I don't think he got really any damage out of that, but all his track position that he's been working all day to get and maintain has just been lost on the exit of turn 2. That may have been a little bit of net code. It was contact between him and Cody Rivera. I'm not sure there was actual contact, though. And yeah, that was some pretty bad net code between the 08 and the 38 that just kind of sent the 08 around. And honestly, really good driving from Cody Webster to keep that car off of the 39 of Brandon Fiedler, who I think saw his life flash before his eyes right there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A good save by the 08. Just a reset now after that restart and caution. Top 10 is currently scored as Aaron Brown, Brady Floyd, Malachi Drake, Eric Heater, Nicholas Borowski, Cody Rivera, Brandon Fiedler, Zachary Thornton, Will Cloud, and Wyatt Roberts.
Couple drivers towards the back, gonna come down pit road. Driver Burns.
And I'm wondering, yeah, and Cody Webster also going to come down pit road. I'm wondering if maybe those Draper Burns and Cody Webster might be thinking maybe if they have to make a final stop. We've seen cars go about 26, 27 laps on a tank of fuel here tonight. I'm wondering if they're thinking either they can try to stretch it. You can really save a lot of fuel at this track. Tracks like this with large braking zones, you can lift early and just kind of let your car coast a lot more into the corners. And you can save a lot of fuel. It's going to cost you lap time, but it could be doable. It's unlikely, but it is possible. Or maybe those drivers are considering where if they got to come down pit road one more time, maybe just come down, take a splash of fuel. With not a huge amount of lap time fall off on the tires, that also might be something they're considering here.
You know, Driver Burns is really kicking himself right now. I mean, he started in the back. He found a way to get the track position. Then spinning, trying to come to pit road, which brought the caution out. And now running second to last on the lead lap.
Yeah, pretty much everybody still running without significant damage is on the lead lap. We have 3 cars multiple laps down still in the session. Devin Frank is 7 laps down on track, and Matthew Miles 12 laps down on track. Micah Walls is still technically not retired from the session, but he's been on pit road for 30-plus minutes. I think his night's probably done. It looks like Pierce he'll come home tonight in the 24th position.
Oh! Borowski spun, saved it. Nobody else got into him. Borowski with a moment there while trying to choose.
Yeah, I did a good job there saving the car. We'll see. They might look at that and give a penalty after the race because I believe in this league, you're supposed to, after you choose, maintain whatever league you choose until you get through turn 1. And obviously, they might take into account the fact that obviously extenuating circumstances there as he basically spun out after choosing the bottom. The thing I'm really going to look for here is how Eric Heater is able to deal with that with the 20 of Brady Floyd in front of him. I'm sure that Brady Floyd does not get a great restart here on the older tires and not being the control car.
Yeah, I think this restart is going to be tough for Floyd. And Heater starting in the second row on the outside. Might be tough for him as well. Pace car is in. Aaron Brown, the control car, inside the restart zone. Green flag is in the air.
And a good launch there for Aaron Brown, and that's actually going to let Malachi Drake get clear into the second position. Eric Heater going to look to the inside of Brady Floyd and take third.
I think Heater got a big break there with Malachi Drake having a great restart.
And Heater now going to look to the bottom of Malachi Drake. He got a huge launch off of turn 2, and he's going to have a big run down the backstretch here. You see him pulling away to try to avoid that side draft in the middle of the straightaway. He's going to clear him here in the turn 3. Now Eric Heater back up to the second position. Meanwhile, Brady Floyd, they're stacking up behind Brady Floyd. Cody Barris now under him looking for the 4th position.
Barris taking the position now, Thorpe. And oh man, what a moment there.
Yeah, Floyd looked like he had to lift out of the throttle, got tight out of turn 4, had to lift out of the throttle, and he's just going to get swallowed up down the backstretch. He's actually going to get a bump from Alonso that's going to help him hold on. Meanwhile, Zachary Thornton and Cody Rivera side by side of the 4th position. Aaron Brown up out of the group, or Brady Floyd up out of the group. He's going to lose multiple spots here. In fact, Brady Floyd has gone all the way from the front to the very back of this field.
Rivera's under attack. We're going to be 3 wide. Tarpley, Cloud, Rivera's.
Yeah, none of them going to back out. They're going to be 3 wide into the short chute. Still no one giving up an inch.
Still 3 wide. Now Tarpley
Cloud able to clear him, and now here comes Lorenzo.
Lorenzo wants a piece of this.
Cloud able to clear up to the 6th position. Meanwhile, 3 wide between Lorenzo, Riveras, and Tarpley. And Tarpley able to clear Lorenzo on entry, and he's going to be able to clear Riveras as well. Riveras up, brushed the wall a little bit. He's still side by side with Lorenzo for the 8th position. And Lorenzo now able to clear for 8th, and now side by side for 9th. Jacob Weist and Cody Riveras. First time we've really seen that 6/19 of Jacob Weiss, the Kings Hawaiian Brad Keselowski scheme. They're still side by side, not quite able to clear Cody Barris there in turn 3.
Back here, 3 wide. That was Webster making contact with Wyatt Roberts, who hits the wall. They are still 3 wide. Luke Mahone on the bottom.
And just a note, Webster already back up to 14th. I think Traver Burns might be trying to make it on fuel.
Oh, gonna be contact! The 08! Cody Webster. He went down
He's
into
able
the grass.
to hold on to it, but that lost him a lot of time.
He's
almost spinning.
Oh!
Because Brady Floyd, caution gonna fly.
right into Brady Floyd.
And I gotta think, by the way, Josh, I was thinking it as we were going there. Hey, I think everybody can pit here and make it to the finish. 1, 2, I think Traber Burns is gonna stay out and take the lead. I think he was saving hard. He might have a chance to make it on fuel from here. But I do think if people come down the pit here, I think we're going to see a mix of strategies on tires.
So view from the blimp, they were real tight. A little bit of contact there between all three. Mahone, Webster, and Roberts. Roberts getting into the grass, gets back on track. Just gets loose there off of 2.
Yeah, and iRacing doesn't always model it great, but when you get down on that apron, you can pick. There is marbles on iRacing. There's not a lot of them. They're not as big an effect as in real life, but you can get some marbles on those tires, and that's almost what it looked like happened there to the 08 of Cody Webster. He just did not have the grip he was used to in turns 3 and 4, and he just lost it getting up into Brady Floyd. Now the important question, who's going to come down pit road here? Also, another thing I'm a bit confused by, I'm seeing Eric Heater now back in 19th.
Split strategy here.
And just after these pit stops, we're going to have to go back. I'm trying to find it, but Eric Heater was 19th when they came to the pits. He was second as far as I was aware when that caution came out. So I'm wondering if something else happened as we were focused on Cody Webster.
Oh. Oh, goodness. So it looks actually, you know what, I'm going to go a little bit further back here. So we're going to look at...
Very confused by that incident.
Aaron Brown caught the wall off of 1. Heater had, I'm sorry, that was 2. Heater had a big, massive run. And then they made contact.
Yeah, that was the same time as the caution was coming out, and I don't know what Aaron Brown's doing there, to be honest. He just kind of drives into Eric. Like,
Eric
and that was heavy contact with the inside wall for the 99. I don't really know what Aaron Brown was doing there, to be honest.
I have to say, Eric is probably heated. There wasn't.
I figured that. Meanwhile, by the way, under this caution, Aaron Brown, Shockey Tarpley, Andretti Robinson, Brad Sawinski, and Ollie Reeves stayed out, as did Traber Burns. Traber Burns, I think, is probably the only one of those who even has a chance of making it on fuel. First cars down pit road, off pit road, were Fiedler, Lorenzo, Wiest, Mahone, and Gallo, who all appeared to take fuel only. And then we have Malachi Drake, Wyatt Roberts, Nicholas Borowski took 4 tires. We'll see what else happens. Eric Heater was on pit road for a while, as was Cody Webster taking repairs. Cody Rivera's also with significant repairs there.
So Eric Heater is back out on track after repairs. Currently P18, trying to catch the field through 1, down the short chute between 1 and 2, and a 2. Meanwhile, pace car is entering 3 right now. Heater will have enough time to.
Yeah, we'll see. I'd say it affects him. I feel bad for him there. Like, he was having a really good race and just, I'm not sure what was going on there. I don't know if Aaron Brown was just trying to side draft and got it wrong or what happened. It was a weird incident. And I believe somebody probably asked him how much damage he had left. He said he had 15 to 25, so I'm guessing that's about how much optional he still had left.
Pace car is in. Field in the hands of Aaron Brown. He goes. Green flag back in the air.
Another driver we now see up there again, Andretti Robinson. He had dropped way back. I believe he had damage earlier, but now back up there after staying out. Well, I think the other battle to look for here is going to be Brandon Fiedler and from Traver Burns on back, because that might be the battle for the win. These top 5 cars, I believe, cannot make it on fuel.
Traver Burns going to be able to clear.
He gets by Ollie Reeves for 5th. Meanwhile, here comes Brandon Fiedler. Ollie Reeves, one of those guys who had stayed out under that caution. Fiedler gets a good run off the corner, but he might have pulled out of line a little too early. Just did not have the momentum to get up to Ollie Reeves, who still got the draft of Traver Burns. And Fiedler got him a little hot, had to check up kind of in the middle of the corner, stay off of Ollie Reeves. They're going to stack up with Lorenzo and Weiss behind him.
Traver Burns doing a great job holding these guys off for P5.
And Traver Burns, he's probably pretty tight to on fuel, having pitted the previous caution. He's got about 7 laps left. He's got 7 more laps of running, although I believe at least 5 or 6 of those were under the caution. But still, I believe he's probably the first guy who I feel somewhat confident in saying can make it on fuel right now. As Brandon Fiedler able to get by Ollie Reeves for that 5th position, or 6th position, apologies. Now Traver Burns has a run on Brad Sawinski down the front stretch here. They're just going to back out and follow.
Ronzo as well as Weiss looking underneath. Fiedler poking his nose to the inside of Traver Burns.
Yeah, and that could be the battle for the win in this race. Fiedler going to get by Traver Burns, and now here comes Brian Lorenzo. He's going to look, possibly peek the inside into the into turn 4, but he's just going to fall, and now he's going to look to his inside off of turn 4. Side by side down the front stretch.
Oh. Harris caught the ball? Oh, he's to the inside of Borowski.
Brian Lorenzo now. Now lead by Traver Burns for 6. Meanwhile, Brandon Fiedler now looking to get by Brad Sawinski. He's to the inside of Brad Sawinski, looking for that 4th position. Meanwhile, Shockey Tarplin and Andretti Robinson side by side for 2nd. Fiedler was able to clear Sawinski 4-4. And Robinson and Tarplin still side by side off turn 3.
Robinson has the inside.
They're still going to be side by side. They're still going to be side by side on the front stretch. Robinson maybe not getting enough side draft there to keep with Tarpley, but now actually, now he's going to pull him back a little bit with that side draft. Still side by side. He's going to be able to get clear there in turn 1. And Andretti Robinson up to the 2nd position. Although Brandon Fiedler is coming, and he is one of those cars that should probably be good to the finish on fuel.
Kind of poking his nose down underneath Tarpley.
Yeah, Tarpley just kind of was following Andretti Robinson there. Fiedler's gonna back off though, and right now he has almost a half a second lead over the 2nd car, who is in a decent fuel situation, which is Brian Lorenzo. Jacob Weiss, by the way, has worked his way now to the 7th position. Shockey Tarpley's got a little bit of a run here. See if he peeks inside, but he's just going to follow Andretti Robinson here in turn 1. No, not a great exit there for Tarpley. Fiedler going to peek to the inside. He's going to try to get around Shockey Tarpley here in the turn 2.
They're still side by side. But
Meanwhile, Brian Lorenzo to the inside of Brad Sawinski looking for that 5th position. And Lorenzo gaining on Brandon Fiedler for the first spot of the guys who pitted. Fiedler, though, going to clear Shockey Tarpley here in the turn 3.
Lorenzo able to clear Sawinski.
He's going to have to try to get by Shockey Tarpley. Meanwhile, Jacob Wiest closing in on Brad Sawinski for that 6th position. You know, Aaron Brown has started to check out front, but he has been on track at least 3 or 4 laps longer than anybody else at this point. He is the one car I am 100% certain cannot make it on field. And Lorenzo for run here. Oh, he looked inside of Tarpley. Tarpley tried to cut him off, but Lorenzo's still there. They're going to be side by side off of turn 2. Tarpley appears to have a good run on the straight, but here comes Jacob Wiest to the inside of this 28 of Brad Sawinski looking for that 6th position. And he might have a chance to take it 3 wide if he wants, but he's going to back out, not try to take it 3 wide. He's still side by side of Sawinski. Lorenzo's still side by side of Tarpley. Wiest cleared Sawinski for a second, still side by side though. Meanwhile, Lorenzo able to pull up in front of Shockey Tarpley off of turn 4 and take over the 4th position. But that allowed Brandon Fiedler to get almost a full second out in front of Brian Lorenzo. They're still nose to tail for the 3rd through the 6th position. And also coming into the picture now, another guy we haven't really talked about at all today, Luke Mahone, has worked his way up to the 8th position. He's closing in on Jacob Wiest for that 7th position. Also, Zachary Thornton, he came down pit road and topped off on the green under that previous caution. He's worked his way up the 9th.
great job out of Mahone to gain all those positions. As you mentioned, currently P8.
I should spread out a little bit. Currently, though, our fastest car out on track by almost 1/10 of a second is that 39 of Brandon Fiedler in 3rd position. He's starting to close in on the 45 of Andretti Robinson for 2nd.
Oh, I noticed Tarpley had a wiggle there.
And meanwhile, Jacob Wiest looking to the inside of Brad Sawinski. Not quite there, though, off of turn 2. Meanwhile, Luke Mahone blocking Zachary Thornton almost to the grass. Zachary Thornton to the inside, and now Wiest to the inside of Sawinski looking for the 5th position, for the 6th position. Wiest is going to be able to clear Sawinski, but here comes Zachary Thornton. He's going to try to get 2 for 1 here. He's going to do it. He's going to be up to the 7th position. There's Luke Mahone now side by side with Sawinski for 8. And Thornton gets a good run off of turn 4. He's going to look to the inside of Wiest for the 6th position. Meanwhile, by the way, Brian
battling hard side by side. And Thornton's going to take the position away.
Another thing I was going to mention, Brandon Fiedler, first of the guys who had pitted, has now pulled out to a 2.5 over Brian Lorenzo in 4th. He's also about caught Andretti Robinson for 2nd. So Brandon Fiedler looking like he's in pretty good position right now. Meanwhile, Zachary Thornton going to clear Shockey Tarpley for that 5th position. And that's something to keep an eye on. Thornton came down and topped off on that last lap of that caution. So he's got an extra, just a little bit more fuel than everybody else.
Side-by-side battle. Fiedler.
And he's going to clear Andretti Robinson with relative ease. And he's not going to set his sights on Aaron Brown. He's been about 4 or 5 tenths faster a lap right now than our race leader.
Oh, he's going to slide. Does Fiedler, and Robinson's going to get the position right back.
Yeah, first time we really seen a mistake today from Brandon Fiedler. And thankfully, he had a big enough gap up to Lorenzo, but now Lorenzo only about a half second behind him now. And also Zachary Thornton closing in quickly on both of them. Zachary Thornton right now really starting to turn it on here.
Oh, big block. Luke Mahone trying to block Malachi Drake. For 9th place.
Meanwhile, Jacob Weist all over the back bumper of Shockey Tarpley, look into the short chute, and now into turn 2, looking for that 6th position right now. Weist gets a good run off the corner. He's going to be in his draft, and he's going to have a good chance here to make a move on Shockey Tarpley. And he's going to look to the inside of him. Meanwhile, Zachary Thornton.
Oh, man. Weist got loose there and had to save it. Tuck back in behind Tarpley.
Meanwhile, Zachary Thornton got a huge run through turn 2 and then used it to pass Brian Lorenzo 4-4. Meanwhile, Fiedler has caught Andretti Robinson, but he's going to have to turn down on him on corner exit out of turn 2. And Zachary on turn 1, he really needs to clear him here in 3 and in turn 2. And he is not going to be able to do so. And here comes Zachary Thornton. They're going to be 3 wide for 2nd.
Who's going to give, if anybody?
Nobody gave, but Zachary Thornton just had huge momentum. Zachary Thornton, I've just been really impressed all race long. He's get such a good drive off of turn 2 and turn 4. That's really been the difference for him, but Fiedler are going to try to go with him. Meanwhile, Lorenzo and Andretti Robinson now side by side for that 4th position. And maybe I was completely off on the fuel window. We still haven't seen Aaron Brown come down pit road, so I could be completely wrong on that.
Caution is out. I saw it happening. Big spin, Cody Roveras.
Malachi Drake also involved.
I saw Roveras making a move.
He made a big move to the inside, but then the contact occurred further up the track. It looked like kind of Luke Mahone was drifting up and Malachi Drake was drifting down, and they made contact. And Malachi Drake got spun down right into the path of Cody Roveras, who hits the inside wall hard and then very heavy contact to the outside retaining wall in turn 1. The one driver, though, I think really wanted to see that caution was Eric Heater. Probably be one of the fastest cars earlier today, and he still had some damage left. He might be able to repair that during this caution. And I would not be surprised if we see a mixed bag of strategies here, as we're going to have a restart of about probably 7 or 8 laps left to go in this race. And unfortunately for Cody Roveras and Luke Mahone, surprisingly, they both have required repairs after that accident. They will have to come down pit road. I'm trying to figure out where Luke Mahone got damage enough to cause required repairs in that. He's definitely involved, but I didn't see a lot of heavy contact. Actually, he hit the outside wall. He didn't hit the wall that hard, but iRacing sometimes does that. Meanwhile, we got a split decision here. Zachary Thornton going to stay out, and it looks like almost everybody else going to come to pit road. Wyatt Robertson, Will Cloud, Eric Heater among those staying out. And I'm wondering, maybe Eric Heater thinking it wasn't the damage as much as just lack of track position. He's going to jump up to the 4th position here. 5 cars stay out here. Zachary Thornton, Wyatt Roberts, Will Cloud, Eric Heater, and Nicholas Borowski. And, Aaron Brown going to win the race off of pit road, 4 times full tank of fuel. with Brian Lorenzo came out behind him, then Andretti Robinson, Shaki Tarpley, and Brandon Fiedler loses 3 positions on pit road.
Things are going to get very interesting.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Josh. I don't think this is going to be our last restart. I don't think there's going to be a lot of give and take on this upcoming caution flag. And by the way, the reason Brandon Fiedler lost 3 positions, he just barely overshot his box. Only probably cost him maybe a second it appears to have cost him probably about 2 seconds on, or just over a second on pit road, but that extra second enough to cost him 3 positions on the racetrack. And we saw Zachary Thornton look to be the fastest car at the end of that run, but he is going to be on significantly older tires than everybody from 6th on back in this field as they come to the choose right now.
Looks like Thornton and Roberts going to take the bottom. Will Cloud and Heater taking the top. Borowski bottom. Brown top. Lorenzo bottom. It's going to be interesting when they restart with 7 laps to go in this race.
Yeah, let's just see what happens here. Quick update as they pace. Currently, Zachary Thornton looking like almost Malachi Drake's had pretty significant damage in this race. It appears that Thornton will advance over him unless Thornton gets caught up in an incident. Lorenzo still ahead of Sawinski, but only by a few positions. So Lorenzo's still in a good spot to advance. Wyatt Roberts. Dirty Robertson was actually well up ahead of Dirty Robert. Dirty Robertson was decently ahead of Wyatt Roberts when that caution came out, but now Wyatt Roberts ahead. And then, as mentioned earlier, Cody Rivera's already has advanced over Michael Walls. Another interesting thing to note on this restart, Aaron Brown is restarting directly behind Eric Heater. So we'll see if anything happens between those two here.
Pace car going to work its way to the safety of pit road. The field in the hands of Zachary Thornton. 7 laps to go in this 200-mile race at the Brickyard. Green flag is waving. We're back underway.
And honestly, a really good restart there for the 48 of Will Cloud. He's able to stay with him. He's going to clear into second. Meanwhile, Eric Heater and Wyatt Roberts side by side for third. And Eric Heater going to get by for that third position. Here comes Aaron Brown looking to the outside of Wyatt Roberts for fourth. And Aaron Brown going to make an aggressive move to the bottom.
Heater not giving Brown room at all.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to bump him. Heater going to go off the track. Borowski almost got into the back of Heater.
Heater tried to spin him there. He was looking for revenge, but unfortunately, the next gen car, you really got to bump the car in front to make them spin.
Oh, contact. Borowski and I couldn't tell who else it was. Sawinski.
They're 3 wide behind Borowski right now. Meanwhile, Zachary Thornton still leading, followed by Will Cloud. Aaron Brown on the fresher tires trying to close in on all of them. Also, Brandon Fiedler, we saw him lose 3 spots on pit road. He has already worked his way up to the 4th position behind Aaron Brown.
And Eric Heater, by the way, did bring it down pit road.
And I'm wondering if he stayed out under that caution just hoping to get revenge on Aaron Brown. I don't blame him. He was in... Eric Heater was probably, I would say, maybe the fastest car here today, and then kind of just got turned for seemingly no reason. Probably was just an attempt to side draft, misjudged by the 7, but... Another look at, by the way, Cody Webster, one of the fastest car drivers earlier in this race. He's worked his way back up to the 6th position now.
And he was trying to get around Lorenzo. Lorenzo went all the way down the track to block Webster. See them two now side by side as Webster got a great exit off of 2.
And Webster is never going to keep an eye on. He's on fresh tires, but also, meanwhile, Aaron Brown has caught Will Cloud and is all over his back bumper for the second position as they are going to be at 4 to go at the line this time by. And an aggressive move to the bottom there for Aaron Brown, still side by side of Will Cloud. But Will Cloud not giving anything up. He's going to be side by side of Aaron Brown on the front stretch.
Oh.
They're going to bang doors.
Wow,
More Cloud
really
making the
owned
turn
him
to
down there.
Yeah, Will Cloud fighting for all he can on the older tires, but that new tire advantage for Aaron Brown going to pay off. He's now 0.8 of a second behind Zachary Thornton. He's going to set sail trying to reel him in for this race lead. Meanwhile, Brandon Fiedler also on fresh tires, trying to reel in the 48 of Will Cloud for that third position.
Coming to 3 laps to go.
Fiedler
Brown.
almost caught the wall, but he gets a huge run off a turn 4. He's got a big run on Will Cloud. Will Cloud kind of run in the middle of the track, making it hard for Fiedler to get around him. Fiedler going to dive it hard to the inside for third. He washes up, caught it with him and Will Cloud.
Cloud hard in the wall.
And here comes Cody Webster. Fiedler going to clear him here into turn 2. And Cody Webster now going to look to the inside of Fiedler, looking for that third position. He did not get the run off the corner he needed. Meanwhile, Aaron Brown was 0.2 of a second faster than Zachary Thornton that last time by. He's now within half a second. And if you're like Brandon Fiedler or Cody Webster, you really just want to be seeing Aaron Brown get side by side of Zachary Thornton as Webster able to clear Will Cloud for that 4th position. Now Brian Alonso looking for 5th.
2 laps to go.
And Aaron Brown was 0.4 of a second faster that last lap. He has caught Zachary Thornton now.
Brown, he is really sending it in the corners. Right
He
there
almost caught the
with
wall.
Thornton.
He almost caught the wall, and he's at turn 2. And that's the one thing Thornton's been really good at all race today is getting a great launch off of turn 2 and turn 4. That's going to make him a lot harder to pass here.
Brown, he's there. They make contact. Brown's going to slide. He almost gets airborne there. Still
Caution is
sliding.
out.
Caution is out. And we're going to have a restart.
And if I'm Aaron Brown, I think he was too impatient there. Actually, I don't think that's on Brown. Thornton just hit the wall in front of him, and Brown had nowhere to go. I'd say if I'm Brown, I may be being a little more patient there, but he was pushing Thornton, and Thornton just overdrove the exit and got the wall. And if I'm Thornton, I don't want to see that caution either, as now you're going to have a lot of cars on fresh tires looking for their first win of the season, starting right behind him. So to reset as we get ready for a green-white checker attempt, our top 10 right now: Zachary Thornton, Brandon Fiedler, Cody Webster, Brian Lorenzo, Jacob Weist, Will Cloud, Andretti Robinson, Shaki Tarpley, Wyatt Roberts, and Ollie Reeves. And really the main battle right now for the mid-season madness tournament, Wyatt Roberts versus Andretti Robinson. Andretti Robinson now 2 spots ahead of Wyatt Roberts. Wyatt Roberts entered this race with a 3-point advantage in this round.
A lot of drivers in the back pitting.
Yeah, Roberts did pick up a stage point, so he's still ahead of Robinson in that at the moment. Yeah, we see Borowski, Mahone, Riveras, Heater, Actually, Heater stayed out, but Heater probably on fresh tires because he did pit under the previous caution. And actually, funnily enough, Eric Heater going to be restarting behind Aaron Brown once again.
Well, that is if they choose the same row.
Now, they're going to be close to each other either way. And it looks like most of the people on pit road here, probably Ford damage repair, Cody Riveras, Luke Mahone, Brady Floyd, all pretty significant damage. Borowski might have just been for 4 tires, and he might just be trying something here. And the guy in second right now, Brandon Fiedler, he's really had a rough start to the season so far. Only 2 top 20 finishes coming in the last 2 races. He started the year finishing outside the top 20 in our first 5 events. Saw him up front a few times, just constantly seemed like he would get caught up in stuff. Got 14th at Martinsville. That's his best finish on the season, but right now he's been fast, and he's on a lot fresher tires than Zachary Thornton with a chance to potentially win this race. And interestingly enough, Zachary Thornton actually just chose the outside lane for this restart. So, going through our field right now for this restart, front row will be Zachary Thornton on the outside, Brandon Fiedler on the inside. Row 2, Brian Lorenzo on the outside, Cody Webster on the inside. Row 3, Will Cloud on the outside, Jacob Weist on the inside. Row 4, Wyatt Roberts outside, Andretti Robinson inside. And row 5, Ollie Reeves outside and Shockey Tarpley to the inside. And just a note, I was just real quick looking, Zachary Thornton does have pretty significant damage to the right front of that car from that contact with the wall right before that last caution, so that might hurt him even further on this restart.
Something happened with Heater. We'll have to find out, if anything, later, as we're restarting.
Oh, a bunch of stacking up there. Good launch for Zachary Thornton. Meanwhile, Lorenzo and Fiedler are going to be side by side for second. Thornton checked up Lorenzo Fiedler big, but he's loose and he's struggling. Multiple cars going to get by him. Brandon Fiedler to the lead. Meanwhile, they're side by side for third. Here comes Jacob Weist.
Oh, Wyatt Roberts!
We got a big wreck further back. Still no caution. I think everybody may have... there we go. And there's the caution. Thinking maybe everybody kept it straight there for a second.
Oh, these two. So, I'm wondering if that caution was coming out, if these two made some contact, because Brown just then got into the back of Heater.
Well, to be fair to Eric Heater, actually that contact between Heater and Brown was not... I don't think that was intentional. It looks like they were just both checking up for the wreck, and Brown kind of came down into Heater. Or if it was intentional by Heater, it was very smartly done, because I would not say that was intentional. Because the wreck was already happening in front of them. It started up. And actually, one of our mid-season madness battles, Wyatt Roberts and Andretti Robinson. Roberts had a decent advantage with stage points, but Robinson aggressively looked to the inside. They had contact and hard contact with the outside wall for Wyatt Roberts. That might end Wyatt Roberts' night and might put Andretti Robinson through to the next round. As huge damage to the 42. And we're seeing some cars up front come down pit road here, and I gotta wonder if Jacob Weiss coming down pit road, I'm wondering if he had auto fuel on and didn't have enough fuel in that car, because he was sitting in third on fresh tires, but he has come back down pit road. Also, Zachary Thornton, Brady Floyd, Luke Mahone, Traver Burns, Traver Burns and Brady Floyd all on pit road here. And to reset our running order once again, now our new leader, Brandon Fiedler, Cody Webster second, Brian Lorenzo third, Will Cloud fourth, Ollie Reeves fifth, and Brody Robinson sixth, Brad Sawinski seventh, Shaka Trumpley eighth, Aaron Brown back up to the ninth position after getting caught up in that incident earlier. Maybe still an off chance for him here tonight. And then Nicholas Borowski going to be running in 10th. He had pitted for fresh tires under that previous caution. So, Josh, if you are the second place car here, what lane would you be choosing on this restart?
I have to say the outside.
Let me rephrase that. Would you choose opposite of the leader or same lane as the leader, given the option here?
Opposite of the leader. So, assuming Fiedler takes the inside here, I would take the outside. Webster actually taking the inside.
I actually am going to agree with Cody Webster's decision here. I prefer to start third behind the leader as compared to side by side with him. It is really difficult to time the start as that car on the same row as the leader, because you cannot launch before the leader or else you will get a black flag. It's kind of a guessing game where the leader has a huge advantage on when they launch. Third, you can be rolling up to that leader and you can guess and just slam into the back of him, and you're not going to get penalized for hitting the back bumper of the leader. So I'd almost loaded Cody Webster here. He's got a good chance to get a good restart. Meanwhile, Will Cloud still up in that fourth position. He's been out on track for 30 laps. I'm wondering how good he is on fuel, but if he's good on fuel, he's been showing actually decent speed on those older tires.
Restart attempt number, or overtime attempt number 2, I should say. This field is back double file. Through the short chute in 3 and 4. Pace car gonna make that hard left turn into pit road, the field. Green flag is waving. We're back underway for a green-white checker.
Fiedler waited till late in the restart zone. Cody Webster all over him. Cody Webster going to be side by side with Brian Lorenzo into turn 2. Turn 1, and he's going to be able to clear him here. Oh, Fiedler got up into the fence. And Cody Webster going to take advantage and take the race lead.
Webster slides.
And Brandon Fiedler back by him for the race lead, and here comes Brian Lorenzo. Both Webster and Fiedler made mistakes there, but Fiedler made it on the exit of 1, where it's a lot more forgiving than the exit of turn 2. Meanwhile, Aaron Brown is already back up looking for the 4th position. Cody Webster had a good run out of turn 4. He's going to try to challenge Brian Lorenzo. Meanwhile, Brandon Fiedler will lead as they take the white flag.
Webster right there looking, try to get around Lorenzo. Fiedler has a sizable gap. Webster going to hit the wall. Entering 2.
Yeah, Lorenzo's going to have to hope he can draft up on him and get a good run off of turn 4. Maybe have a chance at him to draft by him down the front straightaway. as they enter turn 3 for the final time.
Fiedler had a great 3. Now looking through 4. Final time. He's off. Tarpley company spinning in the back. We're staying right here for the lead, and it's going to be Fiedler with the win at Indianapolis.
Yeah, Brandon Fiedler hadn't even picked up a top 10 yet this year, but really showed great pace at the end of the race here today. Avoided mistakes for the most part. We saw him on that restart barely clip the wall out of turn 1, but it looked like he maybe had given it up, but then Cody Webster makes the mistake out of turn 2, and that allows Brandon Fiedler to slip back through, and he's able to pull away and hold off Brian Lorenzo to pick up the win here at the Brickyard. And Josh, we had mentioned that earlier, but that really was the key there. Where you make those mistakes on this track, you really want to get that exit out of turn 2, and making a mistake there for Cody Webster ended up being the difference here tonight. As that allowed Brandon Fiedler to slide through and pick up the win.
So in real life, you cannot do burnouts on the bricks, but this is a sim. And
Okay. You can do burnouts on the bricks. It's just all the traditionalists will yell at you.
They're struggling to do some burnouts here.
Oh, we got a collision.
So, let's go ahead.
We do have some potential post-race drama, by the way.
Look at our unofficial results. Finishing first, of course, Brandon Fiedler, Brian Lorenzo second, Cody Webster third, Will Cloud fourth, Aaron Brown finishes fifth, Eric Heater sixth, Brad Sawinski seventh, Jake Weiss eighth, Nicholas Borowski ninth, and Wes Gallo in 10th.
Coming home 11th is Zachary Thornton. Andretti Robinson in 12th. He, I believe, advances, though, in the tournament, although we'll have to wait and see on that one. Malachi Drake 13th. Brady Floyd 14th. Luke Mahone 15th. Cody Rivera 16th. Traber Burns 17th. And then Ollie Reeves ends up coming 18th. He got together with Aaron Brown on the last lap and did not seem to be very happy about it. Meanwhile, 19th, one lap down, Shaki Tarpley, and coming home 20th, 2 laps down is Wyatt Roberts.
Finishing 21st going to be Matthew Miles, 22nd, Devin Frank, 23rd, Jackson Austin, 24th, Michael Walls, and 25th, Ethan Eckert.
So yeah, Josh, I don't know if you're able to pull up a replay, but had a couple of incidents there on the last lap. Ollie Reeves got turned by Aaron Brown out of turn 2. And that ended up dropping him back to being the last finisher on the lead lap here. And then we had more contact with multiple cars out of turn 4, I believe. And actually, that cut between Reeves and Aaron Brown, I was wrong. That actually occurred with 2 to go and did not bring out a caution despite Ollie Reeves spinning. And we had Shockey Tarpley, by the way, RIP to Shockey Tarpley. He hit the pit attenuator on that last lap. Very nice.
Here, I'm not really sure. Wreck off 4. Shockey Tarpley was wide here. Oh, he just got loose. Oh, goodness. The flying saucer.
Unfortunate for Shockey Tarpley, he had a really good run.
So, Brett, why don't you go ahead and dial up our 3rd place finisher, Cody Webster?
Yeah, I'm here now, Cody Webster, our 3rd place finisher here tonight. Cody kind of had a chance on that last restart, but then had a little bit of a slip off of turn 2. What more do you need at the end to possibly get it done here tonight?
Honestly, not make any mistakes. I feel like I had a good strategy, trying to flip the stage to where I hit early, and did that, got the lead, and just I wanted to pit on lap 40, and had I done that, I would have had track position then when the caution came out. But I just got caught up. I got caught up in 2 wrecks, and the car was killed at the end. I was just overdriving it so bad, and honestly, I don't know. It caught me by surprise. This car was that loose passing Brandon there. Just gave up everything. If I would have just not got loose there, just would have took it a little bit easier. If I would have been patient, I probably would have had it. But just gave up time and just in 2 laps, couldn't get it back.
Yeah, and you had that incident earlier in the race, and you were able to fight back. Was that still affecting the car at all, or were you able to get that fully fixed?
So the initial wreck between me and the other Cody, car was fine, but then when you're trying to fight back through the field, it's so hard when you get like 2 and 3 wide, and got caught up in another incident. And I think toward the later part of the race, it affected me a little more than I think on the straightaway. But once I got tires there at the end, when I was able to put on the last set, it fired off good. It just, I needed to get what I could get while I could with the new tires, and it was able to work, but it was wicked sideways at the end. I was just holding on.
Yeah, and then you were able to kind of bring them 3rd. Who gets it done for you there on that 08 machine?
The guys at Proximity Racing. We have quite a few guys that are on the team and that actually hang out with us. Malachi, Aaron, Eric hangs out here and there. Luke Peters. So Luke has been pretty dominant all season. So those guys over there at Proximity Racing just helping us out and just keeping us going, having fun every week, coming out and racing this league. And then obviously my job is on the side of the car, so Benchmark, don't really like them, but I guess that they pay the bills, so I can race, week in and week out. So.
And what was there anything else throughout this race? We saw you kind of go through and back and forth through the field with this next gen car here. What were you really seeing out there in terms of working traffic? You had mentioned a little bit earlier having to always working through traffic. What were you kind of seeing? You were one of the drivers I was really noticing. You and why am I blanking on that? Zachary Thornton. were two drivers I was really seeing who were getting really good runs off the corner. What were you able to do to kind of maximize those runs off the corner and really get those launches off turn 2 and turn 4 down the long straightaways?
So I feel like here on the oval, for the most part, no matter what car you're in, there's a fine line to where you want to kind of stick your left side just below the white line there, entering turn 1, entering all the turns, but more importantly, turn 1 and turn 3 because of how much speed you carry in. But in order to get good rotation, we are downshifting going into fourth, and just you got to kind of back up your corner down. As you back up your corner downshift and just get it to that apex, or even something like I was entering earlier. I feel like earlier than everybody else into the corner, and just getting down there and just like letting the car roll and get off the corner. It was sketchy because if you get a little too low, you hit the rumble strips. But that's pretty much how you got to work it.
Yeah, well, thank you, Cody. Congrats on the third place finish, and look forward to possibly talking to you again soon in the future here in SAAC and the Coast to Coast Cup Series.
I appreciate it, and appreciate you guys broadcasting, and hopefully I'll have a better run like this again.
Yep. Good night. And Josh, I believe you have caught up with our second place finisher, Brian Lorenzo.
I have, actually. And Brian, runner-up result tonight. It was a pretty wild one out there. Lots of cautions. How were you able to finish second?
Coming into the race, we were having a lot of internet problems because apparently my VPN was set to Japan, so I couldn't even load into the session. However, we got in, missed the entire practice session, and from there, starting from I believe 20th, we used the chaos to our advantage all night. Every time there was an opening on the restarts, we would take it, and eventually when we got the track position, we showed the speed to stay up there, and that's how we got second today.
It was a pretty good run. How'd you figure out that it was set to Japan?
I was flashing like 900 ping, and there's like a little icon that pops up when I use a VPN, and I see it, and it notifies me that I'm fucking located in Japan. And I'm like, that don't seem right. Instantly uninstalled, and we made the race.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, great run. Sponsor shoutouts. Who do you gotta thank?
Of course, first group I gotta thank, Equipment Geek Racing. My teammate won today. We had some great teamwork. He played it smart all day as well. When the opportunity came up, he took it, and that's how he got that win today. So very proud of Brandon, and very proud of Wes. Wes hates this track. Dude was talking smack about this track for like hours straight, but bro finished top 10. So I don't know if you saw, he literally drove under a car. So pretty insane. I'd like to thank Velocity Designs for my paint today as well. We haven't made any new paints in a while, but paints still look really good when they do come out. Thanks to my own paint brand. I'd like to thank you guys for coming out, streaming our race today. I know it's like 10 o'clock in the night, probably tired, want to go to sleep, but thank you guys for always coming out and streaming for us every week. Thank you to Cody for hosting, being a great league owner, and that's pretty much it. Ready to go to bed.
All right. Well, congrats on second, and see you next time. You have a great night.
You guys too.
Thank you. And that was driver number 1, Brian Lorenzo. Brett, why don't you go ahead and dial up our race winner?
Yep, I'm here in victory lane with the driver 39, Brandon Fiedler. Brandon, you were able to kind of survive some late race chaos there and bring it home for the victory. What were your thoughts on that final restart? We saw you kind of get wide, get in the wall, and lose the lead, only just to get it right back in turn 2. Take us through that last restart on the second green-white checkered there.
So my what I was trying to do is time the restart with my teammate Brian, with Brian to the outside of me. I timed it, I thought, pretty well, but then I just overcooked it getting into one, and when the rear slapped the wall, I actually didn't really feel it all that much. If anything, it just kept me from going around, so that was nice. But when Cody got by me on the inside, my only hope was kind of what happened to him, which was as soon as you pulled out from somebody after being in dirty air for a little bit, for some reason the car would just get loose. And that same corner and that same part of the track I had done earlier in the race to, I think it was Andretti, and the same exact thing happened to me. I just got loose off of there. So that was really my only hope, and lo and behold, it happened. And luckily, I was just able to kind of keep the car going straight and hit all my marks going for the remaining of that lap and the final lap, and brought it home with the win.
And going back even further, before that, you're kind of, I believe, running in the third position behind Aaron Brown and Zachary Thornton. What were your thoughts there when you saw those two get together? It seemed like you had really played the strategy well, getting up front on the fresher tires, but seeing those two get together in front of you, take us through that.
Well, my initial reaction after it happened was that I think Aaron could have waited a little bit. He did have a flat, fresher tires than Zach, and if he would have been patient, he would have won the race easily. But once it happened, I'm like, all right, Aaron's kind of out of the way. Zach's got a lot of damage on the car. My only thing then was go as fast as I can and hope that the 08 doesn't get around me on the restart and the preceding restarts or the restarts coming after that. And like I said, luckily it worked out in my favor. I'm glad to get a win on something that's not a super speedway. That's been kind of where my bread and butter has been, even in this league, for the past couple seasons. But to get one outside of that, it's pretty special.
Yeah, and speaking of that, as we go forward next week, going to Charlotte, and as the season continues, how are you hoping to carry this? How are you hoping you'll be able to carry this momentum forward for the rest of the season?
I'm hoping it can at least get me top 10s and top 5s. That's really all I look for in this league. I know there's a couple drivers, or quite a few drivers that are, I would say, have better skill than I do for the most part. So my goal here is just to learn and see where guys are gaining speed. And luckily, Lorenzo's been a big help in getting me up to speed and getting me a little bit quicker, and actually learning to adjust brake biases and stuff like that. So huge shout out to Brian for that. But yeah, hopefully I can continue this momentum going forward. It'd be great to run up front next week as well.
Yeah, and then last but not least, anybody you'd like to thank, who gets it done for you on that number 39 machine?
So I'd like to thank 921 Mobile DJ for being the primary sponsor on the car, Schrader Plumbing for being the secondary sponsor, and then I'd like to thank everyone at Equipment Geek Racing. Great group of guys, just the best group of guys that I think I could have been with. And then I'd like to thank my family, my wife, for letting me do this week in and week out. I actually got to go help her with some stuff after this, so I think she rightfully deserves my help for that after letting me do this week in and week out. So yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody for watching, and thank you guys for broadcasting this.
Well, congrats on the win. Enjoy it, and have a great night.
Thank you. You guys too.
That was our race winner, Brandon Fiedler. Kind of survived some late race chaos and had the right strategy, was fast all day, and then took advantage of other people's misfortune at the end to pick up the win. Strong performance for him here tonight. And Josh, I don't know about you, but I thought that was everything we could have hoped for in the race here tonight.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race, despite having some yellows there, but great job by Fiedler to hold on to the win and take it. Coming up on JCTV this Saturday, as mentioned, it is the season finale of the Laser Sim Racing Independence News Truck Series. and that will be live at Auto Club Speedway, the 2-mile D-shaped oval. And Tuesday night, the Slide Job Racing League is on a bye week before they have their season finale at Homestead, which will be the following Tuesday. And
Josh, I'm gonna go. We could do a slide job next week, but I'm assuming you're not going to give your pick because you're going to be broadcasting the race, so you'll give it pre-race. But I just wanted to go and give my pick for the ITP and championship here as we go into the championship 4.
Okay.
Which I really think I've got to. So for those not aware of Final 4, Michael Kruger, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Justin Duran, and Alonzo Chicano. And I've got to go with Mikey. He's almost won like every time we've went there in ITPN, and I think he's going to get it done. He's been the best driver this season.
You know, I'm not gonna give my pick to win right now, but I'm gonna say I think the champion is gonna be between a PBR driver or a Radius driver.
Probably a good call right there.
So in a biased aspect, I hope it's PBR driver because I'm team owner of PBR, but we'll see. I mean, you still can't count out those Radius guys. Yeah, so we got that, and then 1 week from tonight, SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series is at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the finale of the mid-season bracket challenge, but still plenty of racing in the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series season. And then, so as mentioned, Saturday night's coming to a conclusion for the season. I can tell you that the DI9 Designs Anywhere series, the Blazers Sim Racing and the Pit Snooze Truck Series, which is announced that it won't be in the Pit Snooze Truck Series after Season 4. It will be the Blazers Sim Racing Amsoil Truck Series. And the Slide Job Racing League all are going to be restarting their next seasons in January, pretty early January. But we actually are going to have a new league coming up on JCTV. It's going to be on Monday night starting November 13th, I believe, is that Monday? So here in a few weeks. That one I'm pretty excited about. It's going to be a GR86 cars, 6 races, kind of iRock style. So sounds interesting. I'm pretty excited for that one. And it's the 3 Wide Racing League. They are an established league, and just wanted to give their broadcasters a chance, an opportunity to race. So they reached out to us, and we got a deal done. So I'm really looking forward to that one. So despite, BSR and Slide Job coming to an end of their seasons, we're still adding leagues to still bring you guys entertainment. So we got that coming up.
And just a note on that the GR86, that's going to be road racing, but that's a car that I've raced a lot on iRacing. It's a really fun car to drive, and it produces really tight, close quarter racing. It's kind of like a Miata. It doesn't have a huge amount of horsepower, so it doesn't carry a lot of speed, but because of that, you get a lot of door-to-door, fender-to-fender racing in that car. So I think that league's going to be a lot of fun as we get going with that here in about a month.
It's actually not going to be road courses, strictly. Their schedule is not final. I'm not going to go into scheduling of what that schedule looks like. It is 6 races, and from what I see off their rough draft of the schedule, there's
One road course.
Yeah,
I just looked at it.
There's one road course.
So ignore me saying it's a road course league, but that's going to be even better because that's a car that on ovals is going to be the same type of racing, but probably even more so. So,
and I think what Brett is thinking of here is we've also been in the talks with another league, which will be a road course league. Nothing is official or final on that one, so I don't know. Still in talks about that. So we could, we could potentially have another one, another league coming up too as well. So still 3 shows, leading up until January. So we've plenty of action still coming up, and I'm looking forward to. I think that's going to do it from us here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the SAAC Coast Coast Cup Series. Until next time. But, this Saturday night, you guys don't normally tune in. I'm telling you, tune in. It's going to be one heck of a battle to determine who's going to be champion. And I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long season, and I think it's about time we crown a champion. And one of those 4 drivers, they're really going to have to earn it. It's not going to come easy. These 4 have been the best 4 all season long. So it's going to be really fun. And especially being at Auto Club. So big shout out to Cody Rivera's and the Edmund team fans watching at home. Without you guys, we definitely couldn't do this. Once again, happy birthday to Doom or Ben Smith, JCTV colleague on here. Another year older for him. And on behalf of Brett Bennett and the entire outstanding crew here at JCTV, I'm Josh Copperl signing off, saying so long, and we'll see you next time.